Hello, Crystal Palace. Welcome to the Upper Norwood Library Hub's live lunch. This is something to keep the community connected and engaged, a way to share positive stories, inspirational stories, and useful information. So my guest today is Kate Gilbert, who is a presentations and public speaking coach based in Crystal Palace. Kate, thank you so much for joining us. It's lovely to have you.
You're welcome. Thanks for inviting me.
That's a pleasure. Tell us what a presentations and public speaking coach is, and how did you get into it?
Okay, well, it is kind of what it says on the tin. It's showing up live. It's presenting basically. So that's either on stage or now we're presenting in webinars and online or online videos as well. So I coach people in how to use their voices, use their body language, how to use storytelling to make their presentations impactful.
Brilliant.
And how did I get into it? I trained as an actor many years ago, and I was teaching acting for a long time in schools as well. And I once had gone for a drink after work with one of the teachers, and I met another teacher in the bar, and he said to me, "Oh, you teach Lambda acting, could you come and teach public speaking?" And at the time I was like, no, absolutely, I've never taught it in my life, no idea, don't think I could do that. And then the next day I was working in a reception in London, and I lost my job. I just got made redundant suddenly. Wow. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. So I called the teacher back and I was like, is that job still available? When can I start? So I started, and I just taught myself how to teach public speaking. And I started with 4 students, and then I went on to 3 days a week in the school for 3 years, teaching hundreds of young people how to do public speaking.
Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it, how often it's the Sound of Music thing about a door shuts and somewhere they open a window.
Exactly.
It's interesting how often that happens, I think.
Yeah, and I think, and I taught acting for years, but once I started teaching public speaking, I could really see the benefits of people's confidence and the self-esteem raising just through standing on a stage and talking as yourself and giving your ideas and opinions. And it was the same when I moved into then working with adults, because I worked with a lot of teachers, and then when I left there, I started working with adults. And it's just a very powerful thing. So I absolutely encourage everybody, if they're scared, to find a way to do public speaking.
And actually it is something that everybody can learn to do better, I guess, and just get a lot of confidence from being shown how to do it better.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Cool. Just going to say welcome to the people who are watching. If you have any questions for Kate or any comments, please send them across, and we'll try and answer them as we go. So Kate, tell us how you've made the shift to working online.
Yeah, I think the first 2 weeks of lockdown were absolute panic. I had workshops set up, I had an acting job as well, everything was cancelled. And I really had to think about, how do I do this? All my work was mostly workshops with groups of people, or I work one-to-one and I work with people in the space, and we work on voice, and we do work on the structure of their presentations and everything. And I wasn't confident that I could do that online, that it would transfer. However, I realized that was the only way right now that I was going to keep the business running. So I started showing up online in videos, in posts, and I quite quickly, to my surprise, got people I didn't know contacting me. And so I got new clients, and I got clients not just in London, but actually I've got clients in Leeds, in Halifax, and all over the world as well. People were contacting me. So it kind of really made me realize that it's an opportunity right now to go online and start being visible, start showing up and expanding that group of people that I can work with.
Distance is not an object anymore if you're doing it online rather than in person.
Yeah. Which is great, because I think before, I don't know, for many people here, maybe I was really focusing on the local area. It had to be somewhere that people could get to me easily. And actually that's quite a narrow field of people. So once you can start doing it online, and I did a session last week, I think it was possibly one of my best sessions that I've run, and that was online. So it's definitely possible to do it.
Yeah, fantastic. What 3 tips would you give to people then who are shifting their business online?
I would say you have to show up online. So you've got to raise your visibility, and that is about regularly. For me, it's regularly posting. So I post a lot on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook are my main ones. And I honestly believe that videos are the way forward. I have put out a video there giving some tips about how to do one. But it's like, before lockdown, we all went and networking sessions and met clients that way, or you do a workshop and someone would refer you to someone else, and you usually meet them in person. Obviously now there's not that opportunity to do that. So a friend, someone, so it's like technical here with these headphones. So someone might refer you to someone and go, oh, they're brilliant, get in touch. They go to your website, they see pictures of you, they read your blurb. But if they haven't met you, they may not still sign up. So if you've got a video on there that really shows who you are, how you come across, your passion for what you do, and a little bit about your personality, that's going to really help people go, okay, I feel like I know them. I feel like I've met them a little bit, and they're more likely to come on board and work with you.
It's finding the personal touch, I guess, isn't it? Even though you can't actually meet.
Yeah, definitely. And with the videos as well, there's make them short, don't make them too long. Try and get a story in there. I'm a real advocate for storytelling because it's personal, because that's a way people can really connect to us. And also you're more likely to come alive in your videos if you're talking about your own story rather than trying to think about, I'm just going to say what I do and hopefully the people will like me. You want to come across as yourself, tell a little bit of your story, tell your journey of how you became, a public speaking coach, whatever it is that you are.
That's really good advice. Thank you. I'm going to make use of that. I'm just going to say hello to a few people who have joined us. So we've got Paolo and Andy, I can see on the Facebook feed, and also Nicoletta, Callum, Elizabeth, Dennis, and then Pushy Lucy, Jay, Observer, Sammy on Instagram, I think, and then Gaz and Amy, and I don't know how to pronounce this, I'm very sorry, Inchi. So welcome to all of you guys. If you have any questions, please send them across and we will try and answer them as we go. So, Paolo says, I have a bit of a fear of videoing myself and public speaking. Do you recommend Toastmasters?
Interesting. I haven't done Toastmasters. Lots of people have.
What is it for anybody who doesn't know?
So Toastmasters is I think it's it's definitely a national thing where you can go and you get an opportunity to speak, you learn tips in public speaking, and you give each other feedback. So it's kind of a community there. It's a paid thing, you have to pay for it. I think it's a regular thing. Yes, I think any opportunity to go and speak is brilliant. There's different coaches out there. From what I hear of Toastmasters, I don't know, is that they're very good at showing you these are the tricks and the tools and the techniques, but not necessarily, you might not feel something. So in my coaching, I'm about kind of having the audience really connect with you and really feel something and want to take action afterwards. I'm not saying that Toastmasters doesn't do that. That's what things that I've heard. I don't know, but I think any opportunity, if you feel you want to go and try it, then go and try it out and see. Definitely just practicing. There are tools and techniques to learn for public speaking, so it's worth going to find out and educate yourself on what they are.
Cool, thank you, brilliant. Anybody else has any questions, please send them across. Moving on, so current situation, what do you think are the challenges that we're maybe facing? When we were talking the other day, you mentioned some that were a real sort of revelation to me, things that I wouldn't have thought of. So what kind of unexpected challenges are we facing right now?
What did I say? I was like, wow, that's really interesting.
So you were talking about things to do with sort of scheduling, I think, and that people might change the times of things, and we have maybe bosses have slightly different expectations because it's everybody's at home and things. Anyway, over to you.
Yeah, thank you. So I mean, one is procrastination. before the lockdown, I was working from home and going out and doing workshops. But if you're new to working from home, my goodness, it's a baptism of fire. Get a schedule. It's really important that we get sleep and that we go to bed at a reasonable time. I've had to stop myself drinking so much wine because I was just finding I was not showing up very well the next day. So really think about the things that we're eating. Over too much sugar, not enough sleep. Having an irregular schedule will really affect the way that we feel and what time we actually get to our desk in the morning and start working. So it's really good to have some kind of discipline. I do meditation every morning. I'd also recommend that if you're going online, it's another tip actually, is do some breathing, do a little bit of meditation beforehand, even if it's only 5 minutes that morning, just to get really present so that you're less nervous and more calm when you're online speaking. And if you are leading a webinar or you've got to speak in a meeting or something, there's a thing that happens, and I noticed last week when I was leading a webinar, that people, because you're on the screen and everyone's watching you and everyone else is just this tiny box in the corner, so they don't think anyone's looking at them and they're all looking at you. So when you look at them, they usually look like this. They've got that kind of resting, listening face, as I call it. Don't be put off by it. My tip is have your notes. I've got my notes at the side here. Know what you're going to say and just keep going through confidently. Don't be put off by looking at their face and think that they're not interested, they're not listening. They are listening, they're just not giving you the feedback because they're not aware that they're really being seen. So just keep going with what you're doing. Don't look at them and think, oh, they're not interested, I better change my tack and start talking about something completely different, or start fumbling around, or start rushing through it really quickly because you think you've just got to get to the end because no one's interested. Keep your cool, keep your calm, do your meditation, keep your points with you so you know you've planned, you know what you're going to say, and just work through them nice and gradually.
I suppose, I mean, I find that's sometimes an issue in person, but I guess it's worse online. So you do get the kind of listening face, which is hard not to interpret as boredom sometimes, and you do get that in person as well. But I guess it's probably worse, isn't it, at the moment, as you said, because people aren't aware they can be seen, or they're not.
The focus isn't on them, so they're just happy to be passive listeners, And sometimes when you're doing presentations as well, when we used to do them live, you'd have little tools like you'd ask a question or use a bit of humor to get a reaction from people, and that just lets you know they're still on board, they're still with you. And I think another thing for those webinars that's coming up is your background. So your background, your lighting, how you present yourself on those. It really depends on your team. If your team are you all like best friends, then maybe you can show up in your pajamas and that's fun, But generally, you're probably going to still be in professional meetings with your colleagues. I said on my tips video, use a window. So put your table. I haven't today because I'm using lights or here, but set yourself up in front of your window so you're getting the natural light. That's the best way. If you've got the window behind you, you're going to get shadows in your face. And another thing about that is that if you're showing up online and you click on and suddenly you're there and you've got shadows on your face, your hair actually looks a mess you didn't realize. You've got books all behind you, everything's looking a bit messy, and you're slightly in the dark, and other people are looking great and they've got a nice red top on or something. When it comes to your speaking, you're very slightly going to feel a bit more self-conscious. So I think it's worth putting a little bit of effort into how you're showing up and how you're presenting yourself. And please remember that people will be looking at your space. So, really have a look at what books. My friend told me a story the other day that someone had a book on tantric sex in the background. And it's like, that's way too distracting. Okay, it's too personal. We do not need to know. So make sure that anything in your surroundings is clean, is tidy. And if you don't have a space, or you don't think that you have a space in your house, then go around your house and find it. All you need is a corner, a white wall. This table I brought in from my lounge today over here. So bring in a table, put a plant on it, give them something simple to rest their eyes on. but not too distracting.
I have to say, it is a really lovely picture that you're making there. It's very calm and kind of clean, but without, also with a bit of warmth in it, I think.
Yeah, so I was watching a video the other day. Someone made a video, a photographer, and they'd done it in their studio. So they had the backdrop, they had the lights at the side. That's perfect. You know, if you're a singer, do it in your studio. Think about what is your brand, what are you doing, and can you put that into your space even subtly? You know, it only needs to be very subtle, because people, you know, we don't have much to look at. We've just got this screen, we've just got a face. So people will start to have a look in your surroundings, and they will make judgments, you know, so make sure it's judgments that you want them to be making.
I'm feeling very, very aware of my happy birthday sign and my very messy sheet music behind me.
We love your happy birthday sign.
Yeah, thanks.
We need a bit of hype as well.
Well, that it's definitely why it's there. But yes, I'm suddenly very aware of the incredibly messy sheet music that sort of needs neatening up. I'm going to do that this week.
I love it.
I have a question from Andy Scholes, who is from the Friends of Gypsy Hill. Hi, Andy. Thank you for watching. He says, "What's your top tip on public speaking face to face?" Sorry, I really should have. I really should have done my breathing and some diction exercise. Yes. It says, "What's your top tip on public speaking face to face and online and on camera?"
Ooh, okay. I think get yourself into a space where you're feeling relaxed and you're feeling yourself. So, you know, the other thing is, a lot of people are working all day at their computers or all morning, then they've got a meeting and suddenly they're online, and while you sit, your energy goes down. So if you've got a meeting come up and you've been sitting down all day, get yourself, before you go online, obviously, get yourself up, do some star jumps, run around your house, do a dance, sing a song, whatever, to get you into a sort of a more uplifted state and space. So again, like I've said before, meditation is really good in the morning, breathing, vocal exercises. If you are doing something and you're really nervous about it, one of my tips actually is to phone, and particularly if you're making a video that you want it to feel like yourself, you want your personality to be coming across so that people know who they're going to be working with. I recommend phoning a friend, probably not a family member if they're a little bit critical, but a friend, a really good friend. Have a nice chat, put the phone down, put the video straight on, and off you go, because you'll be in a really nice space of being natural and being yourself. Also with the videos, don't be afraid to do loads of takes when you start. Absolutely fine. No one else can see that you're doing it. So just play would be the word. I think just play, try things out, have a laugh with yourself, you know, and you'll get to a point where you see something that you think, oh yeah, that's me, I'm really happy with that.
Lovely. I like that. Just play. It's good. Play. Thank you. Yes. So you've sort of already touched on this a bit, but how can we make this time positive for our businesses?
Yeah, I think, like as I said, it is an opportunity for us to widen our nets, show up online. I really do think we should be doing videos, just short videos, just, you know, say who you are, what you do. You can tell a little story about yourself if you want to, say how you work and who you work with and how to get in contact. So don't forget your call to action at the end of your videos. Make sure they know how to get in contact with you. You know, don't just leave it open. How you end your videos and how you start your videos is really important. And the same with any presentation. If you do a great middle, if you've given loads of great advice, great tips, and then you end it just by going, okay, bye then, you know, putting your computer down, it's going to make people feel that you're not confident, you don't believe in yourself. So we really need to leave that ending really, really strong.
Fab. So I think that leads me on quite well to say, how can people get in touch with you?
Oh, you can get in touch with me through LinkedIn. I'm also on Instagram, kategilbert.talks. You can find me on my website, kategilbert.co.uk. I also have a Facebook page, which is Public Speaking Masterclass, and you can find me there. like my page, and then you'll see more of my posts and see what I'm doing. I do have a couple of courses coming out soon as well. I'm going to have the Connecting with Your Audience for Video course coming out. So if you're interested, get in touch with me and I will make sure that you're first in line.
Fantastic. And then the reason I sort of knew about you, I guess, was the tips that you put out, the video tips, how to video well, in the freelancers group, I think. Is that available somewhere for everyone?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you go to my website, it's on there. If you look at the tips, I've got 10 tips for public speaking, and then underneath that I've got the video, and there's it's about a 2-minute video with kind of 4 very simple tips but very useful tips on there if you're creating your videos in your own home.
Brilliant. Thank you. That's been really interesting and really helpful. So thank you so much for coming to have a chat with us.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. Just moving quickly into the rest of the live stream program. So as many of you watching will know, we have an enormous live stream program on the Upper Norwood Library Hub. We've put as much of our usual stuff as we can online, and also we are acquiring new things all the time as we go along. So we have the edible garden today. I think it's at 1. Which is Tanya, who spoke to us on the live lunch last week. And I saw the first episode last week and it was really lovely. Sort of a bit about tips about gardening, simple things that you can do, and then also what you can do with the produce. So a sort of half an hour of doable gardening and cooking ideas and tips. Really lovely. We have meditation, we have yoga, we have singing classes, we have children's stories, which I think partially are still being done by Andy Scholes' children, in fact. So thanks for that, Andy. And live music and talkioki, I think, next week, and all sorts of things. So please do tune in and have a look at what we've got. If you'd like to support us a bit further, to the side of the video under the description, we have a link how you can become a supporter of the Library Hub, which obviously we'd be really grateful for. If there's anything that you would like to see on the live stream program that we don't currently have, please get in touch. We'll see what we can do. And if you are doing something interesting or something that could do with a bit of support at the moment and would like to come and talk to us about it on the live lunch, please give us a shout. The email address is there to the side of the video as well. I have 2 other things to say. One is that Decorum Shop, we're running a competition and the winner was announced on Friday. So they've received a lovely care package, which I'm really, really jealous of. Some really beautiful stuff. Check out their Instagram to see about that and any future competitions. They're also delivering at the moment. So if you like what you see and you want some of it, you can order it. And the second thing is that Kappa Catcher Fine Food, which usually on Saturdays are found in Hainslow Market, they are doing deliveries as well at the moment. And this week, Antonio is doing a special free delivery to Crystal Palace. So if you want to take advantage of that, you need to order by 6 o'clock today. And the way to do it is to, when you get to the checkout, you need to select pickup instead of shipping, and just let them know your address and they will deliver it in the Crystal Palace area. They are on Facebook and Instagram, Kappa Catcher Fine Food. Excellent. Andy's just sent an update as well saying Helen, I think that's his wife, is up next reading the next instalment of The Salt Path. So if you're interested in hearing that, stay tuned on the Library Hub page and we'll be up with that shortly. So tomorrow we have Chaz talking to us on the library lunch from Chaz and Momo's Bakery, who are also doing local deliveries. So tune in for that. And I think that's it from me for today. So thanks. Thank you very much, Kate, for coming to chat to us. That was very informative and useful. Thanks very much. Have a lovely day, everybody, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.
Bye.